I'm back. This is part 2 of chapter 2. This one gets a little long because I'm answering a pretty big question. And the question is, why? Why am I transitioning at the age of 43? Why did I wait so long to do it? I left off where I was going home, leaving the nightclub where I had just performed in drag for the first time in over 20 years, and feeling quite euphoric over my newfound female power. Well, that soon faded. I had to come home, remove my hair and my makeup, my corset, and my clothes to find a very skinny, very frail, very non-female creature. I would say that I took everything off to find a man underneath. But for some reason, after that night, when I took everything off, the guy wasn't in there anymore. Parts of my body were still male. And I didn't have long, beautiful hair anymore. And I didn't have breasts. And I believe that anybody else, any other normal male, even the gay male, would have been fine to find himself underneath of the costume. But I was not fine. I had to keep this to myself at this time because it was too soon for me to talk about it with my husband or any of my friends or my mother, because the way that I felt, it scared me, because I found myself questioning myself in a way that I hadn't done in so very long. And I said, why? Why are you so intent again to feel the way that you did that night? You know, it was a drag show and there were lots of people there, strangers, and they were walking up to you and telling you that you were beautiful, and that's because you were entertaining. But that doesn't mean it was real. It doesn't mean that that night you really knew what it felt like to be a girl. That's what I kept telling myself. And then some of my friends who had been there that night, they came to me and they said, oh my gosh, when I saw you, I did not know that it was you. And I had no idea that you were so naturally feminine, they said. The way that you walked and the way that you talked. And that I seemed so comfortable and more social than I usually do in social situations outside of work with my coworkers. And I realized that they were right. And one of the main reasons that I never felt comfortable outside of work with my coworkers was because I felt like I was hanging around with a bunch of women, real women, straight women, and I was that one gay guy. And I felt like every man in the club looked over and saw that one gay guy hanging out with a bunch of pretty girls. And that the girls all kind of saw me the same way. And inside, I believe I could have enjoyed these times a lot more if I could have just been one of them, instead of feeling like that oddball out. So on that night that they were at the club, I was just one of them. And that's probably why I felt so comfortable and amazing. And I started realizing that that week, well, the club where I performed, it posts the performance videos every week after. This was a bonus surprise because I didn't know. And my husband found out and he says, oh my God, yeah, they recorded it. We can actually see what you look like when you perform. So I said, oh my gosh, let's watch it. So we watched it. And about halfway into the video, I started to cry. And my husband says, why are you crying? You look beautiful. And I said, I can't believe that that's me. I do look beautiful. I really do. Just like people were coming up and telling me the reason that people were so shocked was not because the guy that they knew was dressed like a girl. They were saying it because that girl that they saw looked beautiful. Almost too beautiful to have ever been that guy. And I didn't believe it was true. And when I saw that it was in that video, I knew right then and there that I wanted to be that girl every day. And I was terrified because I knew what that meant. And it was strange enough to be born in a way that makes you different. No matter if you're gay or transgendered or the one weird different colored kid in your neighborhood that speaks a different language, and you're different. You know, you're different. And whenever you're different and you're a kid, it's automatically hard. Automatically. Because kids are so mean. But when you find that this way that you're different is in such a universal way, in the sense that almost all cultures have a definition of what a man is and what a woman is. And America has a very strict one. And basically, anything that deviates outside of what a man's supposed to be is gay. Or effeminate. Is weird. It's not manly. You're not John Wayne anymore. You're this thing. And it's very serious about that when it comes to men. However, no offense and no harm taken in this comment, but the process is a lot easier in some ways for women, because women have been running around wearing pants, something that was traditionally male. For the longest time, they've been wearing pants. Not only do they wear pants, some of them wear these pants with comfortable shoes, no makeup, not even earrings sometimes. Some of them do it in a way that is presenting male, almost 100%. Some women. Some of those women are lesbians or transgendered males, female to males. Some of them aren't. Some of them are straight women who just never felt comfortable that way. Well, they've been getting away with that shit for years. But anytime a man does anything outside of the norm, it's like a big commotion. There could be 10 women in a lobby or a waiting room dressed in pants and traditionally male clothes, and no one would really think twice about it. But if a man, who was obviously a man, came in there in a sundress and heels, we'd have a problem. This has a lot to do with why men have to transition to fall into their new role comfortably. Where a woman could say, no, I've never felt comfortable that way. Well, a man says, I've never felt comfortable that way. It's like, well, buddy, you better get over it. Or else you're going to face this weird, uncomfortable spot. So I have voluntarily placed myself into that weird, uncomfortable spot. And it was hard in the beginning. I knew that being female or transgender for me did not just mean starting hormones and finding a way to present a female image with my hair and my face. No. For me, being female meant being 100% perfectly pretty and feminine and as much of a woman as I could be. At the age of 43, I figure this. I'm 43 years old. I look pretty okay for my age. Hormones are helping. But I won't look like this forever. And I know some people might think that I'm vain or mean, but I look at it like this. I want to be female. I want to pass as a genetic girl. and I want to be a pretty one. Because I feel that it's within my grasp. And that's why I try so hard every day to be as perfectly pretty as possible. So as far as the whole real life test, I'm already 8 months into living full time. I do it the best I can every day as far as presentation. And I do it with an open mind towards everyone else. All other kinds of transgenders and binary and non-binary and the whole gamut. I try and be as politically correct as I can. But I don't want anybody holding it against me that I'm trying to live up to a stereotypically female role that I've been wanting to live since I was a little kid. And everyone told me that all those things weren't for me. Well, now they are. And I plan to do everything. And I plan to do it all very, very well. And I plan to take the new power that comes with being a pretty woman and use it to better myself and the people around me. And hopefully to gain me some recognition in the world. I'd like to tell my story to masses of people. And I'd like to represent the transgendered community in a media-driven way. So I'm open to any prospects when it comes to that, as far as being a spokesperson or anything like that. I am in the entertainment industry right now, so I'm down for anything like that. So this is basically the answer to the question of why and why now. And again, I reiterate that I basically, in a sense, transitioned so that I can take on the social role of female, because it's the one that I really enjoy. So that's who I am now. I'm Amber Lynn Melton, and I'm a woman.